Coach Lindokuhle, thank you very much for your time. Unfortunately, a 5-0 loss for you guys here. What were your thoughts on your game today?
I feel we can do better. We can play better. I think we're a little bit nervous. I warned them in the changing room, even during the course of the week, that you are not playing the occasion, you are playing the game. I think we are still a new team. We are still young. We've got a lot of young players. It's not an excuse at all. But we are still a new team. We are still learning the league. This is our first season, APC Gauteng. So it's a challenge, yes. I think it's the second time we are conceding more than 5 goals in the game. So it's tough. It's tough, but we are going back to the drawing board.
Coach, like you mentioned earlier, this is your 3rd game with the team. And in the 3 games that you've been with the team, what is your assessment of where the team is and where it needs to go?
There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work to be done. The window is not closed. We still have an opportunity to sign more players, get in more numbers to come and help us. There's a lot of, my job personally, I need to work on a lot of conditioning. The team is not in the right shape in terms of fitness levels. I think we can be better in that space. We can be a little bit braver on the ball. I felt today we're a little bit scared to play. There's situations where we felt we could have done better. The last 15 minutes of the game was better for me. At least we tried to keep the ball. We introduced ball players that were interested in keeping the ball and making sure that the team can play. The first 75 minutes, you can say 60 minutes, were very bad because we didn't want to play all the time. We went long. There was no understanding. There was no team spirit. It's just a bad danger at the office.
Coach, I noticed that at times your boys tried to build up from the back. But the coordinated high press of Highlands made it difficult for you. In terms of how you want to play now, tactically, and the system that you want to deploy, how do you want to play? Was that a component of how you want to play, or today the boys are not where you want them in terms of tactical approach and you are still trying to implement?
I'm still trying to implement a lot of things. The idea is we want to build up from the back. We want to go with 2 strikers most of the time. We can go with 3, we can go with 4. The approach depends on the opponent. But how we want to play, more especially in the build-up, I was unhappy with us not opening half spaces. Our wingers were not effective. They couldn't go wide when they needed to go wide. They couldn't make the field narrow when they had to make the field narrow. Our strikers, no one supported the pass when he needed to support the pass. No one went long when we needed to go long. Our centre backs never gave us confidence. The goalkeeper made some incredible saves. Our defensive midfielders were panicking. But the idea that we want to play, we want to keep the ball as much as possible. We want to penetrate in wider channels and in central spaces. We want to build up. We want to be braver on the ball. We want to make sure that we create as many chances as possible. We want to be dangerous on the counter. It's transition. Our attacking organization can always improve. It can be better. More especially in our defensive line. The first line was a little bit poor today, more especially with defending balls that come from diagonal long. They were very good. But also, another thing that you can do in a stage football is, the most important thing is, we played against a very good team that hasn't gotten results for the last 4 games, which is still okay. I think maybe this is their bounce back. They got the opportunities. They were very dangerous on set pieces. They were very dangerous on their long throw in. Their press was very, very good. Now, because I just have to go back home, analyze the game again, evaluate and see where we can work and where we can fix. But with regards to how we want to play, we want to keep the ball as much as possible, try our midfielders to bring them closer so they can open half spaces, so that we can open the wide channel, draw the opponent closer so we can play in behind.
Coach, in the league you want to pick up points, as many points as soon as possible. So when the league starts, you just want to keep on pick up points, because usually as the league goes on, as you enter the second round, it becomes even tougher to get points. How many games do you think, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, how many games do you think you will need with these boys to be able to get to a point where you can start collecting points, because we are really struggling right now?
It's tough. It's tough. I won the first game. This is the second loss for me. Sometimes as I always say in the changing room, when you are young and you never played professionally, sometimes there's a lot of messages, things that you need to get across, more especially with our players. And sometimes the understanding maybe is a little bit difficult. But we don't want to be negative. To be quite honest with you, I've got a group of boys that are very hardworking, very humble. They give everything. It's just that at times we are unfortunate with results. There's a couple of games that we could have won, But I'm sure we are playing against the Dondol Stars on Wednesday. And then I think we're having a break on the weekend. I think the next game against the Val, Dondol, we might have a chance to get at least points there. We might pick up points.
Off the pitch, coach, at times you were frustrated with the officiating. and one of your players was red carded for insulting the officials, which raised a serious issue with discipline in your bench. Your thoughts on that?
To be quite honest with you, if you know the team, there are certain things that are very difficult for me, you know, more especially with that incident. I don't want to speak much about that incident because it's far much more deeper. But with regards to discipline, the team is disciplined. We are well behaved. And with regards to officiating, I think I don't want to speak much about it because, you know, even coaches at the PSL, they get fined for such things. I don't want to dwell too much on the officiating. I believe that the boys could have played better. We could have got results. But with regards to the officiating, it can always be better. You know, it's a problem that we have in this country. Anyway, this league is the most difficult for me in South Africa. It's the most difficult league. Even the PSL is not this difficult. It's a very, very challenging league. So we need the officiators to be at least united so they can help us, give us and improve the South African game as well. You know, because the officiating at times I felt it was a little bit offish, but I don't want to make an excuse about referee. For me, I felt the team could have played better.
Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hopefully things will get better for you guys going forward.
Hopefully. Thank you so much, sir.